Gilbert, what's the process like when you go in to replace a guy who's out for the season? I know you prepare and train to go in for him, but when he's suddenly gone and not coming back, how does that change your mindset to play in the spot?
Well, like you said, you just have to prepare. You have to prepare to, put yourself in that position, But what I was doing was I was envisioning myself being in that position. So I was taking a lot of mental reps while he was on the field and I was on the sideline. So just envisioning myself taking those reps. So when he actually went down, it was easy because, I kind of already put myself in that position and, I kind of already went through it in my head.
What goes into a mental rep? What are you actually watching for in that, and how does that actually translate into getting on the field?
You're looking for your keys. So, if there's a certain play call, you have certain keys. Like, for me, if there's a call, I'd probably, look at the tackle, his footing. So, and then seeing what the different things he does. So, whenever I'm looking at that and, just working based off of what he does and thinking about what I would do if I was, actually taking a rep. So, it's just envisioning myself doing it.
You use the word easy, but you're kind of thrown in the deep end as far as who the opponent was. Just what was that like as a competitor? That kind of add to the excitement, the motivation to get out there and play, or kind of view it now as kind of just lessons learned against one of the best the country has to offer?
Yeah, as a competitor, you want to play in big games like that. You want to go up against the #1 team in the nation, and I took that opportunity, and I just want to go out there and just play really hard, and I feel like I did that.
Gil, I know it's not an easy situation to step into what you're stepping into, but how do you feel like you did from a physical standpoint going up against Georgia, and what's maybe next for your game as you get into the last 9 here?
From a physical standpoint, I think I did really good. I made some pretty good plays when they came my way. I messed up on a couple things, but that just happens whenever you're going up against a really good team. So that just goes with preparing for the next opponent and getting better.
We're kind of to that, I guess, now that you do know you're going to be maybe the starter going forward at least. I guess, is there any more, I don't know, for lack of a better term, comfort in it that, you're not necessarily getting thrown in the fire off the bench or anything like that, and that, this week you maybe not necessarily prepare differently, but I guess does that help at all, having maybe a little more clarity in terms of what's going to be moving forward for you?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely feel a little bit more comfortable, especially when you're actually getting the reps. The more reps you get, the more comfortable you feel actually being out there. So now that I got some more reps under my belt, I definitely feel more comfortable going out there and starting.
What's kind of the mental aspect of the last couple of weeks looked like for you guys as a defense, trying to adapt to losing so many guys and having so many young guys, playing for the first time? What has that looked like for the group as a unit?
For the defensive group, we preach the next man up, and this is SEC football, so whenever someone goes down, it's the next man up, and that's what we've been doing. The next man has been preparing, we prepare like we're the starters on defense at every position, so whenever somebody goes down and the next man comes up, we're ready to play.
Gilbert, I guess Coach Beamer talks a lot about stopping the run being a core value of this program. What, as a defense, do you guys have to do to maybe stop the run and be a little bit better in that regard going forward?
Being better at stopping the run, we have to be more physical. We have to know what gaps we're fitting in, just be more in tune with your assignment, really.
Gilbert, you mentioned that next man up mentality. Another guy that's been stepping up is Nick Eamon-Wari. What have you seen from him, and how has it been kind of stepping into roles?
Yeah, Nick, he's just a dog. That's pretty much it. He makes the plays that come his way, and then he goes out the way and makes other people's plays. So he's just a really good kid. He plays hard. He loves the game.
Yo, Gilbert, you mentioned as a competitor wanting to play against the #1 team, wanting to go against a team like Georgia. So after that game, what are some things that you guys kind of look at, and what do you, as a unit, what are some things that you feel like you learn about your defense going against an offense of that caliber?
Going against a team like that, you kind of just learn the things, you kind of learn from the things you did wrong, I guess. So with us, we kind of just weren't in the right position, I guess, in some of the plays. So we just have to be more detailed on being in where we're supposed to be on the field.
Gilbert, I know it's been, 3-4 years now since you switched from receiver to defensive line. I guess just how do you feel like you've kind of, grown in that position over the last couple of years? And I guess what was it kind of like making that transition as a senior in high school? And I guess how's that kind of come along for you?
I mean, in my senior year, I kind of had this mentality because my coach already let me know that he was gonna switch me. So I was like, no matter what position I'm playing, I have to go 100 and be good at it if I want to, get out. So that was just my mentality. No matter where I'm at on the field, just learn it and try to be good at it. That's what I've been trying to do. Just learning from other guys about playing the position and trying to add it to my game.
Zach was in here a little bit earlier talking about some miscommunications on defense. You mentioned gap filling yourself. What goes into that and trying to fix that, especially with so many new players coming in, especially freshmen?
Practice, we practice it. We do a lot of walkthroughs now, and we have to be more, we're being more verbal in practice, getting the call and make sure everybody on the defense is getting the call and just being where we're supposed to be in through walkthroughs and stuff like that.
Gilbert, when you made the switch from receiver to D-line, how much did you have to gain right away weight-wise, and then how much have you put on since you've been here?
So I don't think a lot of people know this, but I was playing defensive end my senior year at like 180 pounds. So, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I was playing at 180 because I just came from senior. I didn't gain a lot of weight. So after my senior year, I was like, if I could get to like maybe 210, 215, maybe I'll be more physically ready to play college football. I guess you definitely have to weigh more, especially in the SEC. But I definitely was eating a lot at the job I was working at. Shout out Roscoe. He was hooking me up with a lot of chicken wings to get my weight up. So yeah, I gained probably like my senior year before I got here. I went from 180 to like 215, and then since I've been on campus, I came here at like 215. I'm up to like 253, 255 range. So that's about how much I've gained.
What was the name of the place where you got the wings?
Fats Chicken. Fats, yeah. It's called
And
Fats
just
Chicken Shack.
How much else did you have to eat? I mean, was it one of those where you had to kind of force yourself to
Oh
try
yeah,
to gain
definitely.
the
I
weight?
was probably bringing home probably like a 20-piece every night and like killing it, forcing myself to eat it actually.
I was gonna say, once you got to South Carolina, were chicken wings still on the menu for like gaining weight, or what else did you have to eat, or what went into put on the
I ate
weight?
whatever Kristen had available. I was scarfing everything down.
Did you have like a calorie count you were supposed to hit every day, or just like as much as you could stomach?
I was just eating as much as I possibly could.
Gonna stick with the food, I guess.
Yeah.
How many times a day were you eating?
I was eating, because Kristen kind of because I was talking to her before I actually got here. She kind of told me to like eat every 2 hours, but really I was eating like every time I seen food, I probably was gonna eat it. Like that's how committed I was to it.
And what did a meal typically look like for you from a snack perspective? Because a snack for me is like a bag of chips and a soda. Like, what's a snack look like
In
for
high
you?
school?
Like, no, like when you
Now?
yeah.
A snack here is probably like an entire meal from ordering out. Like we get like Chick-fil-A, so it'd be like an entire meal, and that would be like a snack technically. So I'd be eating one of those.
Okay, so what was your go-to like chicken wing order? Did you have like a go-to like sauce or anything like that? Or
Oh
was it-
yeah, so Fats, it's family ran, and they're in a couple different locations. So they have this sauce that's called like finger licking sauce. It's like their secret kind of sauce. Probably the best sauce I've ever had since I've been alive. So that was my go-to.
What's it taste like? Is it like a barbecue type thing? Is
I
it
couldn't even describe it. You just got to go try it yourself. You got to go to Florida. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for having me.